Dude, I love how we do that every time. It's a staple.
Yeah.
We got to keep it going.
For sure.
Oh, man.
Maybe I have to get into them, too. I've never even really had one, but I hate carbonation.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That's the thing. My wife hates carbonation, too. Like,
yeah.
she really doesn't like it.
Yeah. I've never liked it.
Yeah.
Which has been a good thing. Like, I never drink pop. I always drink water.
Yeah, what are you drinking today?
Hot chocolate. It's cold outside.
Oh, yeah.
Woke up with snow all over my car.
Dang, dude.
Are you kidding me? It was like 80 last week.
Dang, man. Oh, yeah, we got, so these aren't our final mics. We've been having hodgepodge these mics because the pod mics I bought, they've been on back order. So these mics...
We've had different mics every week.
Yeah, we have. So these ones you got to stand like right here.
Yeah.
And then, like
that's cool.
Be good. But how's it going out there? All Circles fam. We want to say hi to Caleb,
Marcus,
Quintonius,
Brittany,
Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
I was just thinking of like just
basic names,
basic girl names. Don't show Ashley this. She's like, you're not allowed to go back on that podcast.
Don't watch the fourth podcast.
Yeah, she's like, you're not allowed to go back there ever again.
We had that conversation the other day. I was like, because we're engaged now, and I was like, I never thought I'd be marrying an Ashley. Like, whenever I grew up, like singing Ashley was always that basic like blonde hair girl.
Yeah.
And now I'm marrying one.
There you go. That's fun. That's good.
Yeah.
I got my wife's name is Betsy, which is a super rare name.
Yeah.
Like, you don't hear that every day.
Yeah, I don't think you always, like when you think of an imaginary girl, Betsy always comes in your mind, but you never meet someone named Betsy.
Yeah, like I have actually a funny story about Betsy. Not my wife, but the only other Betsy I've ever known. It was in middle school, I think like first grade. My first year of first grade, I was terrible at reading, and I also had like my tonsils taken out, so I missed like a month and a half of school. So I actually took first grade over again the next year, and we switched schools halfway through the year. So it was like a lot of factors.
Yeah.
But luckily, that second year of first grade really like made me love reading, and now I read all the time. But the first year of first grade, there was this girl that I sat behind. Her name was Betsy Ross, like the famous one. Like
the famous one.
Yeah, the flag. And like she was one of those girls that was like a little too perfect. Like she was like the teacher's like, oh my gosh, Betsy Ross, are you related to the real Betsy Ross? And she's like, I don't know, I might be. And I was like, you know what? You're the worst.
I don't like her already.
Yeah. And so we used to do this thing where we would where they make you stand up and like read like at your desk. And we were reading, I forget what book it was, but after I finished reading, and I struggled my way through it, like it was struggle bus time. And I remember I sat down, and this is the day I learned what sarcasm was. Betsy Ross turns around and very nicely, like, she's like, good job, Adam. You did a really great job. And I was like, thanks. Like, I thinking she meant it. And she was like, I was being sarcastic. And I was like, thanks. And I'm like, I didn't know what that meant. And I went home and I asked my mom what that meant. Like, I was like, what does sarcastic mean? She's like, it's when you say something that you don't actually mean. And I was like,
that hurts. That hurts just to hear that story.
Betsy Ross. So I've always had this like bad taste in my mouth with Betsy, and then ended up marrying a Betsy. So it worked out.
Same one. She just changed her last name.
Yeah. Went to my elementary school. Yeah. But I wonder what the Betsy Ross is up to now. She's probably working in the government. Doing something.
Honestly.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's weird how like stories like that from when you're young, you remember for the rest of your life. Yeah. Like you were only in first grade, but like it affected you.
Yeah. And it's crazy to like think there's few words that like I can remember the moment that I learned the meaning. Like there's another one, be prepared. I learned from Lion King.
Really?
Where that's when the Nazi hyenas are walking and they're singing that song. And I was like, I'm not sure what prepared even means. But I remember like my mom explained a lot of these words I learned from my mom. But there were moments. Are there any like words that you remember like the day that like the moment that you knew what it meant?
I don't think so. Actually, no. I mean, if I really thought about it, probably. But silence isn't good for a podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna think.
If you think of one later, let me know.
Yeah. If one pops in my head.
But speaking of my mom, this is a good segue. I finally asked her if the Magic Garden is the show.
Oh yeah.
She said no, it's not.
Did she know what it was?
She did, and I found it. It's actually a 1980s show, not the 70s, because she grew. I think my mom grew up. She was born in 72, so this show came out in 1984.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't do math that quick, but so this is the actual show that she was talking about, and it's very similar. Like, but they have like weird creatures, and they do that like hi Jack, hi Mary.
Yeah,
it's a little bizarre. So I thought I'd show it to you guys.
You have a good day today, friends.
Yeah.
I did.
I had a Superman day.
You had a Superman day. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Spider-Man day.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, you know what? Wait. You know what time it is?
Yeah, it's like a mascot for like a school.
Romper, bumper, stomper, boo. Tell me, do. Magic mirror.
It's creepy.
Tell me today. Did all my friends have fun at play? All my friends had fun today. I see
Oh, where'd
David
that
having a
smiley face
special
go?
day
Terrifying.
today, and Olivia Joy had a special day on Sunday. And I see Robin had a special day yesterday, and Dana's having a special day today, and so is Reginald and Edward John and Margaret.
I thought she was
And I see Justin and Megan and Courtney and
She's
Brick
throwing
and
middle
Mark
names in
and
there.
Rachel
Yeah, I
and
know.
Sheila and
That's a
Caroline
next
are all
level.
having special
Imagine
days,
her saying
and
your
Cicely
first
and Ashley
and
and
middle
Matthew
name.
and
Yeah,
Jose.
you'd be like,
And
oh
I
my
see
gosh.
Bonnie and Anthony and
She
Joe
just keeps
had special
going.
days
As a kid, you'd be
yesterday,
so
and did
excited, but your
Tammy and
parents would be
Brandon
like,
and Gregory,
"Yeah,
and
I'm
of
watching
course,
this show
friends,
again."
you know
Those
I
kids in the
can't
background are
help
loving it
it.
because they're not saying any of their names.
Say my name.
Yeah, but that it doesn't seem as whimsical as like she's got like this. Oh man, get out of here. She had like this like these people have like this whimsical nature about them because they're like it's the 70s. We're all wearing bell bottoms.
Yeah, we're all high.
Yeah, we're all like we definitely smoked something before we
Yes.
went into this zone. I mean, it's called the Magic Garden.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
And there's
Like they're not trying
mushrooms.
to hide it.
Yeah. Like on their like on the Twitter, it's got a magic mushroom and a sunflower, which is
They're doing something sketchy.
Yeah.
They're like, that video was just so creepy, and like, was that not creepy back then?
I don't know.
It's-
Well, I mean, I like looking back on Barney. I think Barney's kind of creepy.
Yeah,
but
they're all creepy.
like,
I mean, I was a big Wiggles fan. I don't know if that
the
was your
Wiggles.
generation.
No, that was my
Yeah.
brother. Well,
Oh, okay.
you're the same age as my brother Nathan.
Oh, okay.
And he grew up on the Wiggles and Thomas the Train. We had a huge collection of trains.
Wow,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, they got everywhere.
Yeah.
And you'd step on one. It was rough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The Wiggles was the thing.
Yeah, my brother
gonna lie.
like that fruit salad song.
Yes, yummy, yummy.
How did that become such a hit? That was amazing.
Yeah, honestly, today, it's still a hit.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Still slaps.
But I was thinking while we were watching that video, I was like, this reminds me of creepypastas. Do you know what those are?
Vaguely. I haven't gone down the rabbit hole, but
Yeah, it's like this. I don't know if it's just a YouTube channel, but it's all I've seen YouTube videos called creepypastas, and it's pretty much innocent things that people make terrifying stories out of.
yeah.
And once you get into it, you can't stop, even if you want to.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, my oldest brother Sawyer introduced me to them, and nightmares for the rest of my life.
Oh my gosh.
Like that's how I found out who Slender Man was.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like, all that stuff. And then there was a creepypasta about the Teletubbies,
Oh no.
and I've never forgot it. Every time I see a
Have you
Teletubby,
seen,
I cringe.
like I've seen some of the memes where like the Teletubbies are just like distressed and look like
yeah,
apocalyptic or something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People have weird minds.
Yeah. I mean, even the Teletubbies has a weird show. Like,
Yeah, honestly.
What?
Like, how do people come up with this stuff? Like in the intro, there's a baby's face in the sun, and that's so innocent. Like it's supposed to be cute and
Dude,
innocent.
that
but it's
baby's
the
like a
creepiest thing
25-year-old now. Isn't that weird?
That's weird. That's weird.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna find out.
It's so creepy though. Like they tried so hard to be innocent, but
How old is Teletubby's son baby? 24 years old.
wow.
What? She's a dance educator.
Oh wow. I'm gonna go take a dance class.
That is funny, man. And they had some weird names. Po, Twinkie. How did Tinky Winky die? What?
They died?
Did he die?
Oh,
He
the
died
actual
of
guy who played him.
yeah, he died of hypothermia. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Tinky Winky.
This one really sad. All right.
This
Getting away from
podcast is dedicated to Tinky Winky.
Yeah. We should put like a little.
What color was he?
Oh, I don't know.
That was racist. I'm sorry.
Tinky Winky. He's a
the
purple. Okay.
one. Okay.
Looks so serious in this picture.
Yeah, that's actually terrifying.
He's played by Dave Thompson and Simon Shelton.
That stuff is just so creepy.
Anyways.
Moving on.
That got real sad. Jeez.
R.I.P. Tinky Winky.
Yeah. Now let's get more existential. I was going to watch maybe one of these, but maybe we'll save it for later. Got to get the Magic Garden. That's kind of become like a running thing.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. It's funny. Let's see. The Social Dilemma documentary came out, and it was viewed like millions of times. Like, I was trying to look it up. I think it's quite a few people have watched this documentary, and for me, like I watched it over the weekend, and I've been meaning to watch it. Like it was on my list, but I don't know. Like it's one of those shows that like you're like I kind of know what it's going to be about. Yeah. But actually watching it was really fascinating, especially like the people that they interviewed, and the skit was a little. Yeah, like, I feel like you can't do a skit like that without being corny a little bit.
Yeah, no, it was very corny, but I mean, the music they added to it kind of helped.
Yeah, they made it like more like
creepy,
but
intense.
Yeah, and then they had the guy from Mad Men who played like the AI, like they were like clones of him pushing the buttons and stuff.
I haven't seen it.
Huh?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh wait,
Mad Men.
Oh, Mad Men. Yeah.
No.
Oh, so there was the guy that was the AI robot guy.
Oh yeah.
That was he was in Mad Men.
Oh okay,
yeah.
All right.
And then they had and then the sister, she was actually the girl from Moonrise Kingdom. Are you a Wes Anderson fan at all? Oh, no. Buddy, gotta get you on that. What do you like, Wes Anderson, Quinn? No. He's like, oh man, you got to get into Wes Anderson movies. They're the best. Anyway, so the Social Dilemma. It's basically this guy Tristan. That's how you pronounce his name. I kept hearing it, and like I was like, am I hearing people say Tristan, or is it Tristan? Like, yeah, I think never heard anybody pronounce their name like that.
There's some weird names out there.
Yeah, like there's names that like you look at. And especially when I worked at Starbucks, like there'd be names like when we had to write the name on the cup, that was the worst. Like
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Working at Starbucks, did you guys purposely spell names wrong? Is that information you're able to release?
I mean, for me, I would do it like I would spell it the closest way that I like, the best way I know how.
Yeah.
Or if it's a super complicated name, I would ask them. Like I was pretty like how do you spell it?
Yeah.
I don't want to be
because I heard
on blast.
Some of them spell the names wrong because they know they'll post it and then get them advertisement.
I mean, it's not like they don't tell us to do that.
Yeah,
but
I guess it kind of just happens because like people have weird names. I mean,
that's and like there was a bunch of regulars that I would like spell their names wrong on purpose. Yeah. Just to mess with them. Or like there's one girl that came in, her name was Katie, and I put K80 and she thought it was cool, so I was like, whatever. But yeah, we used to do all sorts of stuff with Starbucks cup. I once made a TIE fighter out of like the short cups, like the ones you put like whipped cream in. Yeah. It was pretty sweet. I wish I could find I need to find the pictures for that. But it was dope. It looked cool.
That sounds dope.
Yeah, it was a good use of a shift at Starbucks. But what did you think about the Social Dilemma?
Honestly, it was very like intense and very eye-opening, but at the same time I don't think it changed my mind on anything. Yeah, because like we know what's happening. Mm-hmm. We know what we're getting ourselves into when we get a phone and when we like get on social media and all that stuff. It's creepy for sure. Yeah. Like it's weird to think like people are watching you and listening to you, but I don't know. I haven't been on my phone any less ever since I watched it.
That's true. Yeah. Were you? I guess I can't remember what year The Matrix came out, but have you seen all The Matrix?
No.
Oh, dude.
I was born in 2001.
Yeah,
I'm kind of late to all of that.
We got to get you in there.
Yeah.
I show my brother movies all the time. I'm like, you got to watch this. You got to watch this. And yeah. But, dude, The Matrix, amazing movies. But it was interesting, like, how he I never really thought of it that. So, like, I mean, do you know about The Matrix?
Yeah,
like,
I know what it is. Yeah, I've
idea?
seen, like, the famous scenes and everything, but not, like, straight through.
So basically what they do in The Matrix is that these machines have taken over, and they basically made like they're like human farming. And so they gain power through electricity from our brains, and they're able to create a simulated world that nobody knows about, that you're in a simulated world, and as long as your mind's working, the machines can keep living. So it's kind of like a weird symbiotic relationship. And so in the movie, that's why Tristan would talk about how it's kind of like we're already in the Matrix, but in a different way than we thought. You know, like when that movie first came out, everybody had this fear that like one day there's going to reach a singularity where like the AI is going to like develop these crazy robots that's going to destroy us. That was kind of like the narrative of like Terminator and all these all these like doom and gloom like sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
But it's not that these robots and the things are going to destroy us, because in a way, like if a computer needs to like, they would need humans to live off. That's kind of like they couldn't destroy all humans, so they had to harvest our energy. Yeah. But in the way that it's starting to turn out, it's more like these algorithms are being written and designed by flawed human beings. So like there's that one purple haired girl or blue haired girl. Yeah. She was only in there for like maybe like 3 little scenes, like, and I feel like she said the most profound stuff. Like I feel like she was that prototype of the girl in like the CSI shows, or like I can't remember. What's the one where they always talk about the unsub? Do you know what? What show am I talking about? You know what show I'm talking about? Criminal Minds. There we go. Oh. Where there's always like this crazy haired girl on the computers just like doing things.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that all these people are based off of this girl, because she was so serious. Yeah. And she was talking about how like there is no such thing as like objective code, which I thought was pretty interesting, because I'm like, she was like, because we talk about like biases and stuff like that, like we like to think of computers as being like objective, but they're created by these algorithms are created by people that do have bias, no matter what you think about that. There's an implicit bias no matter who you are. Yeah. And so that kind of fascinated me about that, and also the idea behind the Matrix was that the Matrix we're living in now, we're using our attention, and people are, so the platforms are trying to stay afloat through advertising. Yeah. And the business model that they set up is that they need us to continually to be using these devices and to be on platforms as long as we can. And so what we're learning now, the repercussions of that is that like a lot of the information that gets showed to us, like it used to be just like a timeline, like so and so posted this, and then someone posted like a minute after them. Like it used to be like that. And then when these algorithms started utilizing like what your interests are, the videos that you stay on, the photos that you like, the people that you interact with, they say if I show you more of this similar content, that'll keep you on the platform longer. And I think like it's kind of both, and like it's not all of like Facebook's fault, and it's not all of our fault. Like we're kind of we like you were saying, we do sign up for that. Like when we buy a phone, we sign up for Instagram, we sign up for Facebook, even Google, like do an email through Google. Like we scroll past that like privacy thing, and we just we jump into it, and we know full well we probably should read some of that, but like, it's way too long.
Especially nowadays. Because like back in the day, like I know when I first got a phone and first got on social media, I was in like I think 8th grade, and so that was don't know, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And like I didn't know anything about, like I didn't know my phone would be listening to me or like
Yeah.
and I don't even know if they did back then, like how they do now, how like you'll be talking about something and then an advertisement will come up on your phone for it.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah, that gets real scary.
Yeah. But like back then, I feel like people didn't really think anything about it. But nowadays, things are just getting so intense with everything, and they're actually listening to you. And like the whole Alexa thing, like how does she hear you say it if she's not listening always?
Yeah,
like it doesn't make sense. And Siri as well.
Yeah, because
like,
you never know where like. That's why I like Apple as a company. I like them because they like. You know, I was actually just going through like some of the iOS 14 stuff that you can like some of the privacy features that you can take off, like you can toggle over, and you can limit the amount of information that's being shared to these companies. But yeah, I think that there is like we're crossing into this like weird realm where we're like, we don't, you know, like there's never been a time where we can spread information as fast as we can now.
Yeah.
And the sheer amount of information that's being shared, and you know, the more people on the planet, the more information, and it kind of feeds into itself.
And there's so many good things that come out of it too. Like it's not all bad. There's so many positives. Like, people are building businesses off of social media, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah. And like, yeah, they might be taking some information, but probably not enough to destroy my life. Yeah. So at this point, like it's helping me more than hurting me. And I feel like the Social Dilemma, it showed some of the good sides. Yeah. But I mean, it was kind of using a scare tactic.
Yeah, I think they were. I mean, I think there's a lot of things we do need to keep, like, be aware of and be like wary of. But yeah, I'm very, you know, pro internet. I think it's, I think, you know, the internet has revolutionized like everything, and it's created opportunities for people that weren't normally there. Like we have the opportunity, like maybe at some point somebody from like Japan would be listening to us. Yeah, just talk.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I had a video on TikTok last night. I was getting a ton of comments that weren't in English. I think they were in Russian, and so like. It's just crazy because, like, I'm in the For You page in Russia. Yeah, you're like, what? That's insane to me. Like, people from Russia know who I am and have seen me. And that's crazy to me. And that's all social media. Like, without social media, like, nobody would know I exist. Yeah,
like, before it was, like, radio, newspaper, TV. You know, even TV was revolutionary when it came out. Like, it affected elections. It affected, like, the way that we view... politics, the way like where we get our news from. Like before it was all through the radio and the newspaper. Then when TV came around,
back when people had their own minds.
Yeah, back when people weren't all on their phones. I like when
before I was born,
like the meme where people are like all these people on their phones, and then they see, so they'll do like a picture of like a bus with all these people on their phone, and then they'll do like a bus with all these people reading newspapers. And I'm like, it's all really the same thing. It's just a different format.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, with some, you know, very substantial differences. Like like the internet has revolutionized. You know, like it's led to a lot of good. But it's also, you know, it's created more anxiety. It's created more like teen suicides, more like of that body issue kind of thing.
Because it's addicting. Yeah. And people really take what they hear from social media, and it affects them.
Yeah. And I think it's become a lot harder to like cut through a lot of the noise and figure out like what's actually true, because like, especially just even if you go through Twitter, and that's why I like, we could talk about some philosophies that we both have, maybe like in the social media, because I feel like I've kind of noticed this like over the last, you know, 4 or 5 years, that, you know, we've been talking about how we're very, everybody's so segregated and so like divided, and I think social media has had a big, you know, role in it.
I think that's the biggest role in it. Yeah.
And I think, you know, like I was seeing like, especially this last year has become like it's just become like so divided because you know, and I've even like seen friends of mine, they're like, I went through all my friends list, and anybody that mentioned Trump, I unfollowed them. And then you get it from the other side where you're like, they're like, anybody that mentions Biden, I'm getting rid of them. And
I'm
like,
I don't agree with that from either side.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a terrible way.
Everyone has different opinions, and like, of course, if somebody's posting that they're like a sexual predator or something, you're gonna
Yeah,
unfollow them.
yeah.
But
They shouldn't
supporting
have
a
social media.
candidate, you like, it's just
Yeah.
But like, I have friends who are Republican. I have friends who are Democrat. I really don't care, and I'm not gonna say which side I'm on because,
Yeah.
you know, I don't want to say it, but like I'm friends with both sides, and I don't really care what you are as long as you're a good person.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. And
honestly.
I think like the basis of like our democracy is in the different opinions that people have. And I think that when we start like unfriending people that don't think like us, it creates that echo chamber that we've been seeing, like where and it kind of like I feel like the effects of that are very exponential, because when you totally cut out one side of like the political spectrum, like you delve deeper and deeper into that. And I think that was one of the things they hit on in the Social Dilemma documentary, was that you know, like especially when it comes to like the like Facebook groups, like they really push those groups because and a lot of those groups are very niched, like people that are very interested in like a niche thing, whether it's like, you know, like anything from like, you know, they were talking about like flat earth people and like QAnon conspiracy theorists and like a whole range of maybe like fringe ideas. And so it kind of like herds people into those. And so they, you know, the more like Republican stuff that you like, the more of this certain type of group you'll see. And
I think it's good to see both sides, because you're not getting enough information if you're on one side, and you could be getting fake news.
Yeah.
And like, you never know. You never know. You have to look at everything. And there are a lot of sources who aren't good sources. Like, they are fake news.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's on both sides, for sure, on both sides. And I don't know, you kind of just have to have a mind of your own, and that's the biggest thing about social media. It doesn't let you have your own thoughts in your own mind.
Yeah, and I think the thing they call is, I was trying to look it up, it's called selection bias. Like we were talking about earlier, like we have like these different biases in our minds, and I think when we start like unfriending people on mass scales, that increases our they call it confirmation bias. And so like the more like we like people that, you know, agree with us. That's just a human thing. That's like how we develop friends. That's how we, you know, we like to, if they like a lot of the same things we like, we'll, you know, if they're the things they like outweighs the things that we don't have in common, then we can be friends, you know. That's kind of how we live our lives. But it becomes more, I think you tend to kind of fall into more of like a radical mindset when you do cut those people out.
Yeah, for sure.
But so when it comes to like I was thinking like what, like the just the scale of these companies, like, and I always make fun of Mark Zuckerberg because he's just a weird character, like, and he's got such a weird like quirk to him. And everybody's like, he's a robot or something. And I'm like,
there's all these theories about his eyes. Like,
he's got like he's got something weird. Like, I don't know what it is, but they're saying in there that, like, you know, a lot of these guys went into, you know, these businesses like Twitter with Jack Dorsey, or Facebook, or even like YouTube and Google. Like they had good intentions, but I feel like when these things get too big and like when there's too much like red tape involved, and I'm not sure exactly how they're structured, but some of the people that they were talking about on there, and then he actually has a podcast that I was listening to it today. It's called Your Undivided Attention, and they were interviewing somebody that was she was really well versed in like how to deal with like elections and stuff like worldwide. And she got hired to Facebook, and her job was, you know, figure out how to fix the problem of like people interfering with elections, that kind of stuff. And she said as she got into it, more and more of the power that she was promised in that position was taken away, and she was demoted. Like she was like, the first day I met with my manager, she basically said, "Hey, we're gonna take away your title, and we're just gonna, you're gonna be like a manager of this, and you'll be like the sole person." She's like, "I don't have anybody else that's working with me," and she's like, "Nope, you'll figure it out." Yeah. And like the more that she went on before she ended up just quitting, she realized that like it's just like the people that she worked, like her peers and the people that worked under her, they were very excited about what they wanted to do. They had all these big ideas and like they had some strategies they wanted to implement, but nobody above her was willing to either listen or to help her or to even give like the okay to implement some of her strategies. So she was like, I was done. Like she's like, I went in with good intentions and they like squashed that spirit. And so she's like, now, she was like, in the thing that Facebook does is like when after you work there, if you want your severance package, they'll make you sign all these paperwork to, non-disclosures and that you won't talk about your experiences. And she was like, you know what, my freedom to talk about what I want is worth more than the money you can give me. So that's why she's able to do like podcasts. Yeah. But it was just like, in hearing from a lot of those guys that like the guy that invented the like button and stuff like that, like a lot of them, they said they had like good intentions, but I think the good intentions are only part of the solution. But I don't know. I think when it comes to like anything, like when anything becomes too big of an organization or even like a government or something like even like churches and stuff, like there becomes this like separation from the people that make a lot of the important decisions and the people that actually like carry those out or are doing like the day-to-day stuff. And I don't know. I think we touched on that on another podcast. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I think so. But
yeah, it's just like too much of a good thing is not a good thing. Mm-hmm. Too much of anything is not good.
Yeah.
That's why I said too much. Like it's too much. Like
candy forever. But
Halloween. Just pass that up.
Yeah.
Ashley's little brother got 4 pounds of candy the other night.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of candy.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah. He's gonna roll his teeth out of his head. He went as a gangster zombie.
Gangster zombie.
Yeah, he had like a gold chain with the money sign.
Oh, nice.
And then like the zombie painted face.
Dude, that's great.
That kid.
I've been running out of like costume ideas. Like I don't know. Like I don't know where to go with my look anymore. I went like a couple. My favorite one recent was I was Vincent Van Gogh.
Oh,
because I can wear my hat.
Yeah.
And then I put like gauze over my ear.
Yeah.
It worked out.
Really, anything Irish.
Yeah. Like.
Were you ever a big wrestling fan?
Not
you
really.
You kind of look like this wrestler Sheamus.
Sheamus?
Yeah, he's from Ireland. Like
if
you had like, no offense, but if you had hair,
yeah,
he has like a big mohawk.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that would be dope.
I ran into somebody at a wedding last month, I think. And he looked just like Conor McGregor.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It was weird. I was like, has anybody ever told you look like Conor McGregor? And he's like, yeah, all the time.
One of my brothers looks like Seth Rogen.
Really?
Yeah, just
nice.
like him.
That's awesome. Does he do the same laugh?
No, unfortunately. I wish.
You get that as a soundbite. Yeah. Still got this gem.
Smart. You very smart.
I still haven't listened to this his podcast, but I need to get. I keep forgetting it's on Amazon Music.
You a genius.
Oh yeah.
But I really want to listen to it. Let's see what else could we get next? Actually, do you want
time for the two truths?
Yeah, do you want to do that? All right. So I had Carter do the headline 2 truths and a lie. We're gonna see if I can get it.
Okay, I have 2 different ones, and they're both very interesting.
Oh man.
Okay, so here is the first one. Okay. Woman in labor makes her husband stop at elections office so she can vote first. Second one. Toddler loses leg at hybrid wolf enclosure in grandmother's Michigan animal sanctuary.
Oh, dang.
And the third one. Police ID a pastor accused of urinating on a female Delta passenger. She said, "He peed on me."
Some R. Kelly stuff.
The crazy thing is that 2 of these are true.
Yeah. Oh man. I believe the mom voting one. That one seems believable to me. And what was the first one again?
The first one was the mom stopping.
Oh, okay.
The second one was the toddler losing their leg at a hybrid wolf enclosure. And
I'm gonna say that's the false one. The wolf enclosure.
yes, the toddler actually lost their arm.
Oh dang!
It wasn't their leg.
Man.
So it was true, but they lost their arm, not their leg.
Oh my gosh! So the priest did pee on something.
Yes, he did. He was from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh my gosh!
And
wait, on the plane or?
Yes, and everyone was sleeping on the plane, and this woman woke up, and he was standing over her peeing.
Oh my gosh!
And then when they like asked him, when the police asked him,
what the heck?
He was like, I didn't do that. Like, I'm a pastor, I wouldn't do that. And then later on, he said, I think I was sleep peeing. So he thought he was in the bathroom, but he was peeing on some woman. But they found, like, I think he was drunk or something, or he had like
too much of
something in his body. Yeah,
that wine.
Yeah, but he's probably not a pastor anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel. Well,
I mean, crazier things have happened.
Yeah, crazier things have happened.
But yeah,
oh my gosh, that's messed up.
Yeah, the one about the toddler, she got her arm eaten off by a half wolf, half dog type thing.
Oh my gosh.
Was illegally breeded by her grandmother.
Jeez.
And then the woman in labor, she was literally in labor. Like they were on their way to the hospital, and they passed by the election, like wherever they were going to vote. And she was like, wait. And so her husband ran inside and got someone who was like, my wife is about to have a baby, but she wants to vote first.
Oh my gosh.
And so they let her like.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Like,
dude, that's funny. That's kind of. I mean, something I've learned is that like you really have a lot more time than you think. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, cause you still have to wait like a long time for it to like dilate, like. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you definitely don't want to risk it. But I mean, kudos to her. Yeah, man. I mean, she's doing it.
She's a fighter.
She was like, "This is important. It is important." We probably won't put this out by the time voting's done, but I hope you guys voted.
I'm voting tomorrow.
Nice.
Day of.
Oh man. Yeah. Good luck out there.
I know.
I'm working Domino's. I'm not prepared for it.
Did you see Washington D.C.?
Yeah, actually, we could talk.
That's insane.
We could talk about this now. I was talking about how like cities are preparing for like a election day unrest, and like we don't have to get too political about it. I mean, but it is a very top of mind situation.
Yeah, this is more like just general news than politics. This is more than politics now. Yeah. This is like personal. Yeah,
like it's kind of like when the big like George Floyd like protests and stuff were going on. Like we had one in Canton and
right on my street.
Yeah. Oh really? Oh wow.
Yeah, I couldn't go home for a week.
Dang, dude. Yeah, that's crazy.
It was.
You're like, can't go there.
No, it was bad.
Jeez, man, that's nuts. I remember that night I was working at Domino's, and we kept getting like people were. I mean, it's maybe like a 15-minute drive from Massillon to Canton, and like there was a ton of people like coming to Massillon. I was kind of worried that was going to happen in Massillon. Mm-hmm. Luckily, nothing happened, but like people were driving like crazy and like running red lights and like
it was like The Purge.
Yeah, it was insane. It was crazy. Like do you like those movies?
Yeah, I love The Purge.
I've only seen one of them. I don't like
when it happens in real life.
Yeah, you're like I don't think it should happen in real life.
Yeah. Please don't hurt me.
Like hopefully you don't get to that point. And like I like when it comes to like it's weird how like the thought of like a civil war has bubbled up to
it's like very real right now.
Public consciousness of like this could be possible.
Yeah,
and we're like, well, how? I mean, I don't want that to happen.
No,
I mean,
you're crazy if you want that to happen.
And there are some people that do want it to happen. And it's kind of scary. Like, the more like I read about it, and the more like things I'd watch, and a lot of these interviews with like the Proud Boys and the Boogaloo Boys and all those people like. Mm-hmm. Like this is what they've been waiting for. Like it's like a group that's been like, we've been trained. This is what we've been training for, boys.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, that's not what you've been training.
Yeah,
Don't do
exactly.
it.
This isn't the Hunger Games.
Don't
like,
start.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
come
not
on,
supposed
man.
to train your whole life to kill people.
Yeah. You're like, come on, man. Like,
I don't know. Something I just keep saying is people need less politics and more Jesus. Like it's
amen to that.
The world is too political right now, and everyone's divided. And I think everyone should just be friends.
Yeah, and that's kind of like there's like part of me is kind of like this is worrying, and but I like part of me is also like I don't think this is going to be like if anything like that would happen, I don't think it's going to be like a nationwide like everybody is fighting everybody at the same time. Like I feel like as a society we've gotten to a point where like mutual respect is there, and like we still have to live our lives. People still have to work. People still have to make a living for themselves. Like and but I think that if anything like that would happen, it would happen in like these little isolated spots around the country. And it would have to happen everywhere all at once for like the government to basically be like overwhelmed, I guess. But it's definitely, I don't know, I'm not looking forward to the next like couple months.
And that's where social media comes back in, because you see all these radical people on social media on both sides. And those are the people who want a civil war. Those are the people who are going to fight if they don't get what they want. And that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's life. You're not always going to get what you want. And if the person I don't want to win doesn't win, I'm going to go on with my life. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to live my life just like I would. And I feel like that's the mindset more people need to have. Like you don't need to throw a temper tantrum just because you don't get what you want. And that's the big thing with social media. People see these people who are like, oh, fight the other people who don't agree with you. So people follow that. And that's why it's such a big thing right now. And that kind of ties in the whole social media thing. Because I don't know. People are just losing their minds.
Yeah. And it's been I feel like this year it's become kind of like, I feel like it kind of created like the perfect storm because one, we had the pandemic, which like we were barely like 2 or 3 months in before it like really started like getting crazy. Yeah. We had that going on. And so people are at home, they're on they're on their phones more. A lot of people are unemployed. They, they're struggling. Just to make rent and stuff. And then on top of that, you put like that financial stress. And then on top of that, we had the George Floyd incident happen. And that led to a lot, like people were saying like if the pandemic never happened, like they were saying that these wouldn't have been as big as they were because, people weren't working their jobs. A lot of people were laid off. Like it was a cause to get behind, Yeah. And, it kind of sparked this, like it was like a cascading effect where like, it's kind of like when you take certain things out and then it just kind of keeps toppling down. And I think that's it's been just like every month something new has been like just a stressor. And you can only have so many of those before like something breaks, and I think that's why right now
people are losing their minds.
I think that's right now like why everybody's so nervous, because like we don't know what's gonna happen. It's like an unknown.
And I don't believe that any old man is gonna fix the problems in the world.
True.
Like exactly. Like there's no matter who you vote, problems aren't gonna go away. The world's always gonna have problems. We get an old man for 4 years. Nothing really changes, honestly. And then you go to a different old man. Like it's just a repeating thing. And I mean, of course we need a president. Of course we need government. But like, you can't rely on one person to fix everything, because that's just not, we're human. You can't do that. Yeah.
And I think like the more the older I've grown, the more I've seen like we really haven't figured out like a perfect system of how to govern people. And
I don't think there is.
I don't think
unless you're in heaven, there's no perfect way.
Because I mean, as long as you have people that have flaws, that do things that they shouldn't, that are, unless everybody is perfect somehow, there's not going to be a perfect system. And so I think
exactly
like, but we should still strive for a system that benefits everybody. But I think that's something that we need to continue to strive for, because I think like kind of going back to like the social dilemma, like I think a lot of these companies and things like we have developed like this system where a lot of the money and the resources tend to like it's like vacuumed up instead of like distributed like evenly between people.
Yeah.
And I do think that's one thing that's going to eventually become like an existential thing where we need to figure out what to do about it when like there's so much money being sucked into these companies and the people that own the companies that like, and it's not that like money is like a finite thing, and it's becoming even like a weirder, like we don't even really know exactly what money is nowadays. Like I don't think like I've been trying to figure it out, and I'm still like I'm not sure exactly what how our money system works.
I just got my first credit card. I definitely don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, credit cards, be careful, man.
Yeah, I know.
Use them responsibly.
Yeah.
Drink responsibly. Just kidding. But credit cards, they'll get you too. Those are very like, I feel like credit cards have also been kind of like in the same realm. Like they're very predatory. Like they, like I was always super cautious, but even being cautious, like, I went into a decent amount of debt through my credit card because I had a room, like I was living in a duplex. My roommate moved out suddenly because his dad had a stroke.
Oh, wow.
And so I was left paying this place by myself until the lease was up. And so like, I had to keep paying to stay there, and I had to come up with an extra like $400, and it was it was a rough time. But
rough.
Luckily I'm back on a good credit score. It was good enough to buy a house, so that worked for me.
Nice.
So, but yeah, man, I don't know. I'm kind of worried about it, but I've always been more of an optimistic person. Like I believe in the good of people. And I think when push comes to shove, like I think like, and I was researching about like what happens in like countries that do have this civil unrest. They say that when like say like a city or a town is like ransacked and all their stuff is like looted and stuff, like people tend to come together in those situations and work together. And even when there isn't like a system in place, like we as humans we're meant to be in like a community with each other. And when the worst things happen, we tend to go out of our way to help others. Yeah. And so I think in the worst case scenario, I still believe in the good of people, that we have this tendency to be helpful and to care about other people. And so I'm hoping that, I'm hoping that people are like that. So
please,
we'll see.
please.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
But there's one last thing I wanted to kind of hit on. Keep a little levity to the podcast. We went a little hardcore there.
Yeah, I know.
But let me
try to stay away from politics, but
it's hard. I mean,
it's really hard when the world is going mad because of politics.
It's a mad world. So, do you watch SNL at all?
A little bit, not like recently, but.
Let's see. Okay, so he did this thing. Cool.
All right, good meeting, gang. Before we go, does anyone have anything else they'd like to share? Maybe our newest intern, my nephew Tyler.
Nope, I'm good.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you not play dumbass with me? See, my nephew Tyler here memed me again. And you all know it. He turned me into a meme. And I'll be honest, I'm pissed again.
I am sure this is all a
like John Mulaney?
misunderstanding.
Exhibit A.
John Mulaney?
My perfectly handsome dating profile pic. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just a normal adult man looking for a smart and funny adult woman. And what do I see posted by my sweet nephew in the company Slack this month? Swipe right if you want bad sex. You think this is funny? Look at me. You think this is funny? Women might see that and think it's true, and it's not. I get great reviews, thank you very much.
On Twitter,
I am so sorry, Mr. Brenner. I assure you, no one thought this was funny.
Oh, really? Because y'all seem to really love this one.
Wipe from the internet.
When you in a sex cult, but you still a virgin? Hey, listen up, Peanut Gallery. If I was in a sex cult and not having sex, I would leave. Trust me.
Got it there.
Look at me. Hey, look at me, you
Like
dunce.
at one point they try to
Everything
high
about
five and they
this, when you
totally
do
miss.
this, it sucks for me.
Breaking.
All right, look what popular meme account Purple Drank Posse posted. Hello, darling, you may whack me in the penis with a golf club. Now, I don't know why that's in quotes. It's definitely not something I've said. But look, this was tweeted out by actor and New York legend Michael Rappaport. When she come over and say, hi, my name is Chris Hansen. Oh, no. What an outrageous accusation. First off, the fellas go to the little kid's house on that show, not vice versa. And why would she be saying, my name is...
We don't have to get into logistics.
Vice versa.
Look, I'm really sorry, Uncle Ron. I'm getting paid to make memes now, and I need to practice. It's helping with my tuition.
Oh, is this going to help you get through
I think
college,
Pete
you limp
Davidson never
biscuit?
sleeps. That's why his eyes
How
are
about
always
this
so
one?
like.
That
There's
feeling
bags
when
on
the
his eyes.
priest put his fingers in your mouth during communion?
Oh no! When the priest pees on you and
What an
the
awful
plane.
image. I hate that. I hate it. Next.
Okay, that's creative.
It's not creative. It's not creative. You know what it is? Libel. But hey, I guess that's what awesome. I get for thinking love was possible for a guy my age.
Man.
I just wanted to find romance again. Is that such a crime?
Man.
Then why does your profile say only interested in 18 to 24-year-olds?
Say what now?
Excuse me?
Oh, it doesn't. That's probably one of those default settings. That...
No, you wrote it out in text. I mean it. If you 25 plus, don't waste my time. And why don't you tell them what website you're on, Uncle Ron?
Tinder.
No, chicksinprison.com. Sugar daddies looking for inmates.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, please, in my defense, they're much easier to control that way.
Uncle Ron.
He's a legend. So I'm gonna give you a couple assignments this week.
Okay.
Watch The Matrix, at least the first one. All right. And then watch John Mulaney, any of his stand-up.
Okay.
Just anyone. Just
All
pick
right.
one. They're the best.
Yeah.
John Mulaney is like, oh man, he's one of the funniest people. Like, and he's just one of those guys. Like, I don't know. He just is so good at comedy. Like, he's one of those guys that, like, no matter what he's talking about, like, he got me laughing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, check him out. But yeah, check out The Matrix. See, that's a must watch for the world. Just culture. It's a cultural phenomenon. I remember when that movie first came out. It was the most intense thing. And then they came out with the Matrix Reloaded game on, I think it was like PlayStation 2 or something. Like, and it was the most amazing game I've ever played.
Oh, wow.
And I probably play it again. I don't even play any video games nowadays, but I don't know. But yeah, dude. So we got another one in the bag.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing all right.
Push that button.
Which one?
The one. Yes.
You very smart.
Very smart.
We the best.
Just gotta take it in.
You a genius.
Man,
All
take
right.
that with you guys throughout the week. Hopefully it'll bring you up when you're down.
And remember, if there's a civil war going on while you're watching this, probably shouldn't be watching this. If there's a civil war going
Just probably
on.
pay attention.
But just be nice. Just be nice to somebody today.
Yeah.
Just spread happiness.
Don't cause a civil war.
Yes. Even if they don't have the same opinion.
Yeah.
Talking to you, Charles.
Yeah. For Vanessa. I don't know.
All right. I think we're done.
We need to find some older names. Maybe like Clarence.
Betty White.
Betty White. She's still
She's watching our
she's still
podcast.
alive. She's hanging in there, man.
Yeah, I know. She survived
immune to
She
anything.
almost survived 2020.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
She did. She was on trending. She was on trending. She was on trending back in like March, and every time you see that, you're like, she's still alive.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Great. I think she's gonna live forever.
I think she's immortal.
She's a golden girl. She's gonna be living till the end of time.
Didn't the rest of them die?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they're all dead except for her.
Yeah. I feel like anytime you look up somebody, they're dead.
Yeah, I know. If you look at
Bad
John
luck.
Cena, John Cena died.
Yeah, if you want to look up, actually, there's a big. It was Sean Connery died this weekend.
Really?
You know who Sean Connery?
Yeah.
He's the OG James Bond. He was in some great movies.
Oh yeah.
He was in the Indiana Jones.
Oh.
He was Indiana Jones' dad.
Oh wow.
It's pretty great.
I didn't even know that, but I know who he is.
Sean Connery. We should have watched some of his that old SNL skits, but I don't know if you've seen those. Probably not. Maybe next week.
Yeah, maybe next week.
But sweet guys, we thank you guys for being here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us. This might be their last podcast because Civil War breaks out, but if it's relatively normal, we'll be here next week. Ahead.
This can be our bunker.
Yeah, this will be our bunker. We'll be just hide out in here and make podcasts until the world gets back to normal.
Yeah, if it ever does. But yeah.
So we hope you guys are having a great week, great day, whatever time and place you're at. We hope you're having a fantastic time. So this has been the All Circles Podcast, and we will see you guys next week.
Peace.